look like a milkmaid. But we're just gonna roll with it. Hello everybody and welcome back to Coffee Beans and Horror Fiends. On this channel we discuss all things horror while staying heavily caffeinated, and today is just gonna be sort of an easy breezy situation. I kind of fell down a rabbit hole doing research for a few different things, and I noticed horror films were heavily kept out of the Oscars. And I don't know when this is gonna go up, but the Oscars are Sunday. It's a Sunday. I'll put it here somewhere. But I thought it would be really fun to kind of go through the history of horror at the Oscars. And it's very minimal, which is sad. What is my hair doing? I don't know. Please just ignore the hot mess that is me. But pay attention to my shirt. Look!
It's raw. It's fucking raw. White to it. It's raw. It's raw, Melissa. Rubber. It's cold and raw. You're scaring me. You look like the female version of fucking Hannibal Lecter. Put your fucking tongue in and concentrate.
Out there with this jacket.
Hey, come here, you. If I tell you to get out there, I don't give a fuck if you got a thumb up your fat crack. Get out there. It's raw. Come on. That's it. It's fucking raw. Where's the lamb sauce? Where's the lamb sauce?
Is this not the best thrift find ever? Gordon Ramsay is my spirit animal. Cute stuff. Minimal effort in the beauty section and minimal effort in the coffee. This is a watered down caramel macchiato with oat milk, which is my jam right now. I keep switching it up, but now all the ice is melted, so it's like second drink.
I think those might be empty.
No, because the ice melts and then it's like second drink.
And I feel God in this Chili's tonight.
Office fans, what's up? Super into the macchiatos lately because I like caffeination to the extreme.
Original extreme!
Yeah! And I hear this is good for that. And also, you vultures have my shaken brown sugar espresso sold out at Starbucks. So I'm making do. But Dunks' oat situation is bomb, so I highly recommend it. I have to take my bracelet off. It's just, now we don't have clanging. This is courtesy of storiesforghosts.com. This is really the only source I could find for like a complete list of recognition of horror movies at the Academy Awards. So I thought it'd be really fun to just go through this. The first horror film we see recognized at the Academy Awards is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, released in 1932. It was nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Frederick March was nominated for Best Actor. And Frederick March actually won in his category. The next film to be recognized wasn't until 1940, and that was Rebecca. It was nominated for Best Picture, and it won. It was nominated for Best Cinematography and won. It was nominated for Best Director, Alfred Hitchcock, of course we know him. Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Actor for Lawrence Oliver, Best Actress for Joan Fontaine, Best Supporting Actress, Judith Anderson, Film Editing, Best Music. Rebecca was huge at the Academy Awards that year. I don't think I've seen that actually. And then in 1941, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that was released in 1941, that version also was nominated at the Academy Awards that year. It didn't win anything, but it was nominated for Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Music, and Scoring of a Dramatic Picture. And apparently Best Cinematography had a black and white category back then, which makes sense. Picture of Dorian Gray was nominated in 1945 for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for Angela Lansbury, Best Art Direction, Interior Decoration, Black and White, Cinematography, Black and White, and it won Best Cinematography in Black and White. Ooh, this next one's a good one. This is one of my favorite horror films of all time. I remember the first time watching it as a young girl with my grandmother, and it completely blew my mind. I saw nothing like it ever. Shout out to you, Nini. This was a good one. And this recognition was more than 10 years after Dorian Gray, and it's The Bad Seed. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you watch the original. It is absolutely timeless, unbelievably chilling even to this day. Nancy Kelly was nominated for Best Actress. Eileen Heckert was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Patty McCormick was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and then Best Cinematography for Black and White. Unfortunately, it won nothing. Then, of course, we go into Psycho, which unfortunately we know did not win anything. Janet Leigh was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Alfred Hitchcock was nominated for Best Director, of course, and it was also nominated for Best Cinematography, Black and White, Best Art Design, design, set decoration, black and white. Psycho didn't win anything, unfortunately, but obviously it holds such a critical place in horror history, regardless of if it took home a little gold man. Psycho was nominated in 1960, and it's 5 years later when Qui-Gon, I don't think I've ever heard of this, was nominated for Best Foreign Film, and it did not win, unfortunately. Then in 1967, Wait Until Dark was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role for Audrey Hepburn, the icon, the legend. But unfortunately, she did not win. And the following year, arguably one of the best horror films of all time, Rosemary's Baby. Ruth Gordon was nominated for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, and it also was nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. Ruth Gordon did take home the award for Best Supporting Actress. Moving right along to the 70s.
There I am. We can take a look at the cloud cover across much of the
11. It's alive.
Everybody loves a bridge.
Electronic, supersonic.
We're into the groovy hippie time now. 1971, A Clockwork Orange is nominated for Best Director for Stanley Kubrick, Best Film Editing, Best Picture, and Best Adapted Screenplay. Unfortunately, it took home nothing. 1973 was The Exorcist. And The Exorcist is a movie that's always in the conversation when you're talking about horror and the Academy Awards. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress for Ellen Burstyn, Best Supporting Actor for Jason Miller, Best Supporting Actress for Linda Blair, who I believe was one of the youngest, if not the youngest, nominated ever. I'll have to look that up. Hold. Best Director for William Friedkin, Writing Adapted Screenplay, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Production Design, Best Sound Mixing, and it won for Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Sound Mixing. Let's see if she was the youngest. Oh no, she was nowhere near it. She was number 17. Moving right along, the 70s were big for horror at the Academy Awards because Jaws, which was nominated in 1975, is also another film that is constantly talked about in the conversation of the Academy Awards and horror films that are recognized. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Film Editing, Best Original Dramatic Score, and Best Sound. It did win 3 Academy Awards with Best Film Editing, Best Original Dramatic Score, and Best Sound. And then, of course, we have Carrie. Sissy Spacek was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role, and Piper Laurie was nominated for Best Supporting Actress. It didn't win anything. Another big one in 1976 was The Omen. It was nominated for Best Original Score and Best Original Song for Ave Satani. I don't think that was going to be winning anything. No, it won Best Original Score. Could you imagine Ave Satani winning? That was actually a very creepy song. The lyrics were crazy. Hold on, let me look it up. I remember coming across that, Ave Satani. Obviously, Satani. Yeah, this is wild. I don't know how this got nominated. I mean, I don't care personally, and however, let's get back to the Academy Awards. Oh, that's interesting. Ave Satani lost to Evergreen from A Star is Born. And the lyrics are, love as soft as an easy chair, love fresh as the morning air. 1979, Alien was nominated for Best Art Direction and Best Visual Effects. And it did win for Best Visual Effects because duh. And rounding out the 70s, another epic horror film. I feel like the 70s were just hard to top for horror, honestly. I know the 80s gave it a run for its money with all the camp and all that goodness, but the 70s are something crazy. The Amityville Horror was nominated in 1979 for Best Original Score, and it won Goose Egg. Moving into the colorful and campy 80s.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me right now.
Altered States, nominated in 1980 for Best Original Score and Best Sound Mixing, and it won nothing. 1981, another horror classic, An American Werewolf in London, nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, and it won. When I think of horror makeup and special effects and hairstyling, I think of An American Werewolf in London. And this was the very first film in horror to win Best Makeup and Hairstyling, so big achievement. In the year 1982, we see Poltergeist nominated for Best Sound Editing, Best Visual Effects, and Best Original Score. And it won nada. It's a couple years till we see the next one, and it's Aliens in 1976. This got a lot of love. Best Actress in a Leading Role for Sigourney Weaver, Best Sound Effects, Editing, Visual Effects, Music, Sound, Best Film Editing, Art Direction, and Set Direction, and it won 2 Academy Awards for sound effects editing and visual effects. That same year, The Fly got some love as well. It was nominated and won for Best Hairstyling and Makeup. And now we are rolling right into the 90s with
The Oscar goes to The Silence of the Lambs.
In the year 1990, Misery was recognized at the Academy Awards. Kathy Bates was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role, and she won. And then 1991, the iconic year for horror at the Oscars, The Silence of the Lambs. This was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director for Jonathan Demme, sorry, I don't know him, Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, both for Best Actor and Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Film Editing. So it got a lot of love in technicals, acting, and like overall picture. It won Best Adapted Screenplay, Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster, Best Director, and is the only horror film to this day to win Best Picture. And the awards that it won is known as the Big Five, and The Silence of the Lamb is only the 3rd film in history to win the Big Five. I hope Borat sweeps all its categories this year. I know horror can't show out, but Borat can show out. If you want to hear about like my Oscar predictions and I go over all of the Oscar nominated films on Netflix, that's out on my podcast now. It's a long one, but if you're interested in the Oscars, we just hang out. It's super chill. 1991, The Addams Family was nominated for Best Costume and it won nothing. 1992, we saw Bram Stoker's Dracula nominated for costume design, sound editing, makeup, art direction, and set direction, and it won for Best Costume, Best Sound Editing, and Best Makeup. Then in 1993, The Addams Family gets a bit more love. It's nominated for Best Art Direction, but it does not win. 1994, year I was born, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, but it did not win. That same year, in 1994, Interview with a Vampire was nominated for Best Art Direction and Set Direction and Best Original Score. Unfortunately, it did not win. For The Sixth Sense in 1999, The Sixth Sense. I have trouble with XTHs or THs in general. Was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director for M. Night Shyamalan, Best Supporting Actor for Haley Joel Osment, Best Supporting Actress for Toni Collette, Best Editing, and Best Original Screenplay. I don't know how this didn't win any of that, especially for Haley Joel Osment. Wow, what a performance. That same year, we see Sleepy Hollow nominated for Best Art Direction, Cinematography, and Costume Design. It did go on to win Best Art Direction. Now we're moving into the Y2K era. In the year 2000, we see The Cell nominated for Best Makeup, but it does not win. Also, in the year 2000, we see Shadow of the Vampire recognized. Willem Dafoe was nominated for Best Actor in a Supporting Role and Best Makeup, but goose egg. He looks like Jim Carrey in this picture. It's not until about 6 years later until we see Pan's Labyrinth. Yeah, so in 2006, it was nominated for Best Art Direction, Cinematography, Makeup, Best Original Score, Best Original Screenplay, Best Foreign Language Film, and it won for Best Art Direction and Best Cinematography and Best Makeup. So it did very well, Pan's Labyrinth. This one I remember in 2007. Johnny Depp was nominated for Best Actor for Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Also Best Costume Design it was nominated for, and Best Art Direction, and it won for Best Art Direction. We're moving into the 10s, is that what we call it? Wolfman was nominated for Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which, kind of reminiscent of An American Werewolf in London. It did win. Black Swan, also in 2010. Interesting. I mean, I guess that's horror. I'm not a horror snob. I'm not like, ugh, that's not horror. But it was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress for Natalie Portman, Best Director for Darren Aronofsky, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing. And Natalie Portman did win. Well deserved. This next one. As I was just saying, I'm not a horror snob, and I'm not like, that's not horror. The Shape of Water, to me personally, I don't see it as horror.
I said what I said. Okay, well what you said was some bull.
I could be way wrong. It's just my opinion. But alas, it's in the article. I trust the author. I like the author. We're going to go by the article, what the author says. And it gives a great nod to horror. It was recognized in the year 2017, which is 7 years after Black Swan. It's nominated for everything. Picture, Sally Hawkins for Best Actress, Richard Jenkins for Best Supporting Actor, Octavia Spencer for Best Supporting Actress, Best Director for Guillermo del Toro, Screenplay, Cinematography, Editing, Mixing, Production Design, Best Original Score, Costume Design, all that. It won Best Picture, and it won Best Director, Best Production Design, Best Original Score. I was not a fan of this movie, not at all. I was very upset when it won, but I do love Guillermo del Toro, so it's all just for fun. Also in 2017, we get one of my favorite horror films of all time, one of the biggest cultural shifts in film, in horror. My hero, my inspiration, Jordan Peele's baby, Get Out. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor for Daniel Kaluuya, Jordan Peele for Best Director, which I was really rooting for, and Best Original Screenplay from Jordan Peele. It did win Best Original Screenplay, and Jordan Peele was actually the first Black person to win that award ever. It looks like A Quiet Place was nominated for Best Sound Editing, but it did not win. And then 2020 had no nominations, but 2 major snubs for Us and Midsommar. Us for Best Score. How? How is it not even nominated? What was nominated for Best Score? Parasite, which it's funny that they'd put Black Swan and The Shape of Water in the horror category, but not Parasite. Like, they're all psychological thrillers to me. Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, no. Rise, okay, Star Wars for John Williams, sure. Joker, sure. Us? Snub. As far as 2021's concerned, I know it was like a weird year for films in general, let alone horror, but I really did think The Invisible Man would be nominated. It seemed to do well with the audience and with critics, and I thought it was just a really great film. That was actually the last film that I saw in theaters pre-Panorama, Polaroid, Parmesan cheese, I don't know what they're calling it. So that's gonna do it for this little quick bite of horror and Oscars. I just wanted to share this because I found it super interesting. It wasn't something I planned on doing a video for. I was actually just working on my podcast episode, and then I was like, what about horror? What's up with that? What's the history of that like? So I took a deep dive, and then I got lost in the sauce, and here I am. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if people still care about the Oscars. I have just kind of made it a tradition to watch. I think I might live Instagram it. I'm not sure yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more horror and more caffeine. And I will see you on the next one. Stay the out of Starbucks drinking all the shaken brown sugar situation. Stop selling it out.
Bye. Deuces. You gotta go. Period.